Hello, friends. Welcome back to Rick Off Script. Joining me today is Chauffeur Sharma, Big Eater, my best friend for 10 years. Please welcome to Off Script, Mridul.
Thanks everyone. Thanks everyone. Welcome, welcome.
So, Mridul doesn't live in our area, so I had to kind of rush to get this episode filmed, but hopefully the content still remains the same. We're going to jump straight into it if that's okay.
100%.
The first thing that I would like to ask you is to tell me about the first time, to the best of your knowledge that you can remember. Tell me about the first time that we met and what that was like from your perspective.
Okay, the first time we met, I think of like a vague memory of grade 9 Chinguzi high school. I think it was like gym class. No, I could be wrong completely, but it might have been either orientation or it might have been gym class. And I saw Rick and as well as everyone else there, right? I think it was either in the locker room or outside. And I think that was the very first time Rick and I might have like talked or like said hi, welcomed each other. And then apart from that, yeah, like orientation or around like gym day, if that makes sense. Is that aligned with yourself?
Similar to what I remember. I know, mind you, grade 9 was 10 years ago now. So
Unk
we're
status.
we're getting up there in age, but there's still like some pictures that I've seen from the orientation day, and I feel like I remember us being like they're in like a same group, um, or just like saying what's up on the day. If not, like the next best memory I have would be grade 9 drama class. I think that might be when we actually started talking on a more day to day basis. But yeah, first time was probably like a grade 9 orientation, but again, that wasn't very long. Um, to follow that, there's been a lot of these. What would you say is your favorite memory of ours
Like ever?
ever?
Oh, there's a lot that I can't say here. But honestly, I feel like the most, I'd say, special and like, I don't know, like most memorable time was when Rick first came to Ferriton. That's where I moved, like in New Brunswick. So, like usually it's like couples that are long distance that go fly out with each other and stuff. You don't really see like guys just do that for each other, right? Especially when like everyone's in like university, like people don't have enough money or time or like resources to like do all that. But I feel like us keeping in contact throughout that whole university life and like around, I think it was third year or fourth year when Rick like flew to Ferriton, and then himself, I and like our friend group at the time, we went to Montreal and came back. That part was like separate. Like excluding that, just him coming there and like us experiencing that, like rejoining ourselves in real life, not just like video games or like FaceTime calls or whatnot. Um, it was that part, like connecting with nature. I don't think Rick has ever like been anywhere like Atlantic Canada, so that was pretty fun for me to show him. But apart from that, like it's almost like that saying, right? Like if you're not like good friends or if you're not with the good company, even living in like Miami or LA might be boring. But if you're good, if you know how to talk, that you're good with the person you're with, or you have a tight friend group, man, you can live in like Nebraska. I think that's remote. I don't know, but you can live in any remote place and you'll be fine,
Shout
right?
out Nebraska, man.
No, but that for me was super like special. Especially like now this is like a whole like politics and shit, but like being like an Indian person that didn't even grow up in Atlantic Canada, and everyone has their like cliques and stuff there. Um, it wasn't the easiest to like mix up with everyone and whatever. So it was always good having someone from like back home or like from where I was from, still be connected with me and like ground me to my roots and stuff like that, you know, like, and look at us now, man, thriving. What about yourself?
Um, I'm gonna leave out the details for safety's sake, but I would say that my favorite memory that I can think of right now has to be one of the like sleepovers from 10 years ago, and all of the events that happen at the sleepovers.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about that.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah.
Um, what would you say is something that I've done for you that you don't think I realize meant a lot?
Easy, easy. Family's everything. You know what I mean? Like, if you think about like, you know, why am I going back to Fredericton? Why am I not just staying here? Job. Why am I earning my money? It's for myself, and I feel like for most of the world, it's provide and like support like my girlfriend. I love you, Alejandra. Shout out, shout out. um, and like for your family, not so much provide, but like give them things, give like almost buy time and buy the love. Sometimes, you know, like in this world, like everything is so fast paced. You almost have to buy your time for it to slow down when on vacation and stuff. All that to say, family means a lot to my like to me. So every time Rick has interacted with like my mom, my dad, my sister, my girlfriend, it's been super super respectful. And like I don't think Rick's been mainly around like woman in his household, right? So maybe it's that, or maybe like, you know, his upbringing. Like shout out to his mom, you know, Pinky Auntie, love you too. Um, it's just everything's just so respectful, so smooth. Like he genuinely cares. He remembers things and stuff like that. Like this is what I mean. Like at this point, it's not just like a friendship. Like we'll go to the movies or we'll go bowling. We'll sit down. We'll have food, drinks, whatever. It's more than that. It's more as in like he cares. He remembers about, yeah, my family, my grandma. Um, and it's like having a brother. You know, like I only have a sister, so all those things cumulatively, there's so much to talk about. But that's something that means a lot to me. Appreciate that.
Of course. Let's say that you met somebody who had no idea who I am, which at this point in our lives, I feel like would be a little bit questionable unless that person is a new addition to the life since we've been
Cheating
around
on
each
you.
other for so long.
Okay.
How would you describe me to someone who's never met me before?
I think I would say like this is my best friend Rick. This is my brother. I wouldn't even say best friend at this point. Like, I feel like this is a bloated term. Like this is my brother Rick. We've known each other for like 10 plus years. He's like family, kindest human being, tall, not so sporty right now. You know, he was
So many injuries.
he was in his prime, but you know, he had to get nerfed. um, but yeah, like super caring, loving human being, and like a lifelong brother. That's what I would say. And he's single. Wink.
Yep. Anyways, um, tell the people what's something that you, Mridul Sharma, want more of in your life.
Oh my god. I would love for everyone to be closer together. So I think about this a lot. Like as I'm growing up, you know, as he mentioned, high school was like 10 years ago, right? Like we started high school 10 years ago, and now we're starting a new era chapter in our life, which is like adulthood, relationships. Shout out Alejandra. It's so much to think about. But then what I see every time I come here, and we were talking about this yesterday too. It's like I feel like a lot of people they get into the whole mind state of like, oh man, like he has a better car or they have a bigger house, and then they work they work harder for these things. And while that should be a part of your life, it shouldn't be your whole life. Like I don't want my life to revolve around my mortgage and my car payment, right? I want a little bit of everything. I want to try dipping my feet into like maybe having a business. I love what I do, like software and engineering. Like that's the backbone of my thinking, and that's why I'm like I'm naturally like excelling at it. So that's something that's also a part of my life. I don't want it to be my whole life and like start doing like doctorate degrees and whatever. So I feel like keeping that in mind, something I would love more of is for everyone to be more together. My sister, her and I lived together for like shout out to you. Her and I lived together for like 22, 23 years, and then she moved to Dalhousie, which is like in Halifax. It's like 4 hours away from where I live. And she comes back and forth, but it's like there's like a disconnect. And then of course Rick and I, there's like 14-hour drive, 2-hour flight. But still, right? Like with everything getting so busy and people getting caught up with work and the other aspects of life, there's not like that much time for all the people you love. Like right now, I'm with Rick. That's great. But wouldn't it be great if I was with my sister, my girlfriend, my family, my other friends? Shout out Xavier. Um,
Shouting out everybody on this pod.
shout out everyone. So yeah, like I just wish everyone, like if I had one wish and I could snap my fingers, I wish everyone lived near like proximity wise near each other. And I feel like that would solve so many things. And you see how I didn't say like whether it's in Fredericton or like here, it's because that really wouldn't matter. I'm telling you, you can have fun wherever, is as long as you're with the right crowd. And I feel like people working together to accomplish the same goal, which is paying off your parents' mortgage, or helping your parents. Like my parents are first time immigrants for in Canada, right? So helping them understand and like live the life they're trying to like provide me or whatever too. Like they kind of forget about the whole, like they also have a life and this is the first time they're doing it too. They kind of just work away. And like maybe that's what they saw when they were younger, but you know, I feel like since we're in Canada, they're allowed to have a little bit more fun. Um and all that talk is just me, and I just want to be closer with everyone around me. I treat everyone like family, just want everyone to be closer. There's so much money, like financially speaking, too. I did the math. There's so much money that could be saved. There's so much time that could be saved, and all that money and time could be put towards on vacations, stuff like that. Sorry, that was long.
That's okay. It's a great answer. Um, was there ever, for better or for worse, a turning point in our relationship slash friendship?
There's definitely been like small things that have happened, whether that's losing or gaining people, that have like changed how like Rick might look at me or I might look at Rick, or choices I've made or he has made. But I feel like there's not been like a single, like maybe me moving, right? That was obviously the biggest turning point, and that's like the answer to the question, I feel. But apart, like that was almost like obviously, right? Like you guys move like two people, buddy, you move far away. Obviously, there's stuff that's gonna change in everyone's life. But I feel like apart from that, it's like small things, like going from 16 to 24 this year now. There's so much. Was it was 14 or something, right? I was 14 in grade 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's 14. 14 makes sense. Yeah, in that 10-year space, there's so many friends that I've gained, and there's so many friends that I've dropped or lost. There's all these other habits that I picked up and then I've let go. And I can say the same thing about Rick. So it's like as we are on this journey of like life, you know what I mean? There's so many choices that we make, and I feel like sometimes Rick and I, we individually make, and sometimes together don't make the right choice, or we make the best choice. But it's all like a learning process, right? So those small choices, those are, I feel more, they're smaller turning points, or like smaller, have a smaller effect in general, but like long term, it helps us like build that friendship and like relationship between each other and our families and like our peers and all that stuff. Wait, what about you? What do you think?
I was gonna say that distance was the biggest turning point for sure.
You copying my answers?
No, it's just the most obvious one. We can say that our friendship has lasted 10 years, but there was a 1, 2 year period where we didn't talk because of distance. Um, Aside from that, I think there hasn't really been anything that has pivoted the friendship too heavily. Um, I think, you start a friendship at 14, turning 24 now. There's things that you learn individually that help you grow as friends as well. And that's what keeps the relationship going. Which brings me to the next question.
Wow.
When did you feel like you could really trust me as a friend? Was there a specific conversation, a specific moment, memory, event?
I feel like the trust is always getting more and more, like the trust is always getting deeper with like you and your family, and even like anyone else that I know, right? Like every day people give me the opportunity to trust them a little bit more. But initially, I feel like, growing up in Ontario, right? Like in Brampton, everyone's super self conscious about how they look, how they act, what grades they have, or whatever people care about nowadays. But when we were in high school, everyone really cared about like who they were with or who they were around. And me trying to navigate that, like I was in a sat tech program, so I didn't really go to school with anyone from middle school. So me trying to navigate that and look at the different parts of the society that we lived in at that time. Like you had people that didn't do the best, and you people that were like really like performative, and you had the funny people, you had the theater kid. Like, not to put anyone in categories, but like that's what it was back then. Now, right now, everyone, there's everything is so much better in my opinion, because I feel like people are praised for being who they want to be, but back then you kind of had to follow a script, I feel. And I feel like you ask my parents that thing, they'll say the same thing too. It's just every year or every generation you're allowed more to be yourself or whatever. But anyway, keeping that in mind, I feel like in high school, I don't remember what exactly the conversation was, but I feel like knowing the situations I was in and stuff, Rick would cover for me a lot. And like I never like let it. I realized quick that, like, there's always people that would cover for you, like, give you some questions and answers and whatever. And like that type of covering is okay, but I feel like when it comes down to like, you know advice and understanding each other, like Rick always had like that mindset of like, brotherhood and whatever, so he would point me towards the right direction even if it wasn't the easiest or the nicest option. Whereas the other people I had around me, they would just say the easiest thing, or they would say something to just make me feel good. And yeah, like, so I kind of saw through the others, and then like just slowly and slowly I would trust Rick more with, like, my problems, things I was going through. And we're all trying to figure things out. Again, living in Brampton, your parents work like double jobs, you don't have that much time to spend with and like more people. So yeah, it was great having someone that you can like almost fall back on. It's almost like when something goes to shit, like who are you calling, like, without thinking twice. And I realized that was Rick. I could have 100 friends, I can have two friends, but like in like the whole in between of high schools and moving and all that stuff, right from the jump, I knew Rick was trustworthy. And we had the same sense of humor and stuff. That also helps when you're like 14, 15. You're not really thinking about like taxes and shit back then. So not it like, it's not like I had this big agenda of like, you must check all these boxes off. But like, yeah, I hope that feeling was explained well.
Reliable. You know what you're going to get.
Oh, reliable.
Um, what do you think keeps our friendship strong today,
Effort. One
10
word.
years later?
One word. Effort. Any relationship, effort. Ladies, gentlemen, if you're listening to this, anyone, put the effort in. You know what I mean? It's so easy to pick up the phone, call someone, and say, "Oh, you haven't called me," but man, you haven't called them yourself. It's so easy to be like, "Oh, you moved far away, you don't come to visit us." Well, the flight goes that way too. Like, So it's all about the effort you put, you know, the effort to explain, the effort to have patience. Everything boils down to one word, which is effort. So that single handedly is the biggest reason. It's to it's to adapt with someone, which takes effort again. You know, there's all these things that surround that word, but effort is like the what nuclei, that like mitochondria of the relationship.
I'm
Ooh.
a theater kid, man. Don't talk to me about no science.
It's a climax. I don't know how to explain. I don't know what the translation is directly, but yeah, that's the answer right there. Mic drop.
This is going to be an interesting one because we use the term friends pretty loosely around here. But if we had to be stuck on an island,
Oh wow.
which of our three friends would be the most useful to be stuck with?
Okay.
Mind you, the term is useful. So they actually got to put in work. They got to put in that effort.
Wow.
And we got 10 years of people we can go through.
Anyone in our 10 years?
Anybody. Three friends that you think are the most useful on an abandoned island. You got to survive.
Like friends? Could that be cousins too, or just friends? Like if I consider someone my friend, would that be okay too? Like family members too, or no?
We're not adding Alejandra or Sia to this question.
Of course, no. That's separate. I'm talking like cousins and stuff, like cousins or family friends or something.
But I have to know them too.
Okay. Well, what if you know
That's
them?
why I said our three friends.
Okay. Like you were friends with them, and I was friends with them.
Correct.
All right. Could you translate that in math, please? I'm a mathematician. I'm just kidding. Okay. Xavier, number one. Shout out Xavier.
Mm-hmm.
This guy puts in the work. Trustworthy. Old, reliable. Yeah. You know, love you, bro. I would say Xavier, 100%. Xavier. Motivational guy, you know? Sensational. Wow.
Goes to show you what our friend group is like.
Wow, this is crazy. Like, I'm just thinking, like, island, you know, you need someone to, like, I don't know, like, tie some shit together and, like, cut some shit. And, like, also not be a little bitch about it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Think about it. Abandoned island, you need someone who can hunt food. You need someone who can build a shelter. You need someone who might have some good general knowledge, who just kind of knows their way around the island.
Ohm. I would say Ohm.
Okay.
Him and, like, I'm trying to remember our old friend group.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ohm was very a knowledgeable guy, very strong guy. Shout out Ohm.
If you're somehow ever watching this, shout out Om.
Shout out Ohm, man.
Okay, you got two. I need one more.
You know what? I would say Siraj. Now, hear me out.
I'm immediately vetoing this answer.
I don't even know what that means. Siraj. Shout out Siraj. I want to say Siraj because he just has a different way of thinking. And I feel like, you know,
He wouldn't last a day. You provide a 1 day entertainment and then he might be found dead the next morning.
I'll take my chances. Hey, it's all about entertainment. Entertainment. No, man. Like, you need someone with like an open, like, Siraj has surprised me more times than not, and not always positively.
I was gonna say, in what ways?
But like, you know, I'm stuck on an island, man. Like, how much positivity is it going to be anyway, right? So, those are my starting three. Wow.
Interesting. I immediately thought of Dion.
Oh,
As a big boy. As a big, strong man. I think for survival, you need someone like that on your team.
that's facts. Shout
I
out Dion.
also might consider Anil.
Mm.
Because he did like geology, engineering, whatever BS he did in uni. Anyways, we're going to wrap this up here by letting the people know what is something that you are passionate about. This could be a hobby. This could be something material, a collection. A TV show, anything.
So much to think from. I'm passionate about learning. I love learning. I love learning about, like, I see like 2 to 3 different dimensions of this. And real quick, I'll just run through them. One is my job. You know, I love what I do. I go to work every day, not thinking it's work. Honestly, that's why I love what I do. Right. Um, I love learning new things. I love learning like how, like, real quick. My family didn't really own their businesses and stuff like that, so it's like I never had like a business mindset. But like working in this field and working in this corporate environment, I understand more and more about like, yo, I'm gonna change my answer for the previous question. Yo, fuck Siraj. I'm gonna go with this guy. Oh my god, you don't know him. Shit. But yeah, work. I love learning. The other dimension. I wanted to be a chef when I was younger, but but then I realized I was vegetarian, and I was like, not too many people would do that. And I moved to New Brunswick. They eat like oysters and shit. They like catch fish and like market the same day and eat it. So it's like I can't really do shit there. But I love cooking and understanding foods. You know, like the different cultures and stuff. I like broaden my horizon so much more than just paneer and dal makhani and shit like that. So learning about that, and then like the last thing is like hobbies. You know, like I played tennis with like, shout out Xavier recently. It was great. I might just buy something like that. Then I might buy some pickleball paddles, try that out myself. It's just like learning and trying new things, because I feel like, you have to be flexible in this ever adapting, changing world. So the biggest thing is learning.
That brings us to the end of another off script episode. Thank you very much for flying all the way out to Toronto to film this episode. That's totally why you were here.
100%, dude.
Um, for those of you that are still watching to the very end, let me know if there's any other questions I should add that you would like to know of for the guests that are joining me in this space. If not, I will see you with the next guest.
Drop a comment, subscribe, like, share.